Hello again. We're now going to talk about turning the diameter of a component. Here you can see there's a piece of bar, the very same piece of bar that we faced the end of. Excuse the terrible camera work. And the idea is, to take the diameter down to a set size. In this case, we're going to go with 30 millimeters. That's, as you can see, the tip of the tool, and also that's the edge of the component. So 30 millimeters. First thing to do, we'll need to make it round because it's a stock bar. It's not going to be exactly round. As you can see there, turning in the machine, it's sort of wobbling a bit, i.e. it's not round. The first thing, we're going to touch onto the edge of it, and we're going to draw back out the way. So touching on the edge, that's it, and then draw it out. Maybe we'll switch the machine off, and I'm going to set a distance. A second. There we go. Yeah, that's a digital readout. We've used the Z reading before. We're now going to use the X, which is the diameter. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set that to 0. As you can see, the 0 button is highlighted. Don't need to do anything with that, and it's X at the zeroing. Simple as that. Okay, and I draw it in 1/4 of a millimeter. Once that's there, camera work really was terrible, I apologise again. We'll do the same cut, this time taking a 1/4 millimeter cut. It's actually 1/8 of a millimeter, 1/4 millimeter is off the diameter. Reasons will become clear. Okay, so that's another cut done, and I'm just going to check and make sure it has indeed contacted the whole way around. You can see here that we do have cut right there, but there's a section right where my finger is which hasn't cut. So I'm going to have to do the same again. Take another 1/4 millimeter cut. Place the camera down somewhere. Take another 1/4 millimeters. Wind it in. It's gone a bit far. There's a thing called backlash. We'll talk about that. That's why instead of just winding back to 50, I have to wind back past 50 and then forward to it. Right, so here we go. Second cut. You can see the longer spirals, which again indicates that it is in contact the whole way around the circumference of the component. I'll gradually wind that back. Once it's clear, I'm going to switch off. Okay, so now we're going to measure it.
So we're going to take a measurement.
The tool I need in order to do that is a micrometer. We'll all be experts at reading micrometers by now. Here's one. It's worth bearing in mind this is a 25 to 50 millimeter micrometer. So you get across the diameter using the ratchet to wind it in. There we go, like so. And once the ratchet clicks, I'm going to lock it off. And then we're going to take a reading. It does take a second for the camera to focus here, apologies for that. Okay, so we can read 25, we can read 30, we can read 31, and we can read 31.5 on the lower scale there. And then on the thimble scale, we're at 1-1. So that to me says 31.61. So into the readout, I'm going to go to set X, so it's a diameter 31.61. Don't forget to hit enter. Okay, so we're now ready to turn using our readout, because as I say it measures radius rather than diameter. We're ready to take our incremental cuts down to 30. Okay, first cut. And we'll go in a little bit more. There we go. So we're in to within 0.2 millimeters of the desired diameter, i.e. within 0.1 millimeters of the next cut thickness, cut depth. I'll wind along there by hand as steadily as possible. It is still called roughing down, but you want to be as smooth as you can. And then finally we will go to the right size, 30. Now you see I've gone past again, so I'm going to have to wind out beyond 30 and then back in. The reason for this is it's literally a screw and not round a screw, and if you're pushing against the wrong side of the nut, it's not going to cut straight. So anyway, we've got our size now, and I've engaged the feed this time, and this will cut at a steady rate the diameter down to 30 millimeters. You see it's quite small chippings coming off, it's quite a shallow cut, but that's ideal. There we go, you see the handle moving by itself. And this lever here is how to engage and disengage the feed. There we go, disengage. Now before, just finish off the cut by hand to get to the depth. And I'll wind the tool away, right away. I can switch off. I'll then wind everything clear, double check my measurement, make sure I'm happy with the finish, and that'll be our component turned to size.